160th birthday of Dr. José P. Rizal, and the 10 things you probably didn't know about him. Dr. José Rizal was born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Laguna. The house of José Rizal in Calamba, Laguna is today a national shrine. In its historical marker, it says, restored by Executive Order Number 145 of President Elpidio Quirino, with funds mainly contributed by school children of the Philippines. Inaugurated 1950. The architect, Juan F. Nakpid. José Rizal's advocacy for reforms in the Philippines under the hands of Spanish colonial authorities led to his early death at the age of 36. He was executed in Bagong Bayan, now called Luneta, in Manila on December 30, 1896. But his death meant much more for the Filipinos. It sparked the revolution in the country against the Spanish government, which ruled Las Islas Filipinas, now the Philippines, from 1565 to 1898. Rizal inspired the nation to be born. José Rizal was a Filipino nationalist and polymath during the tail end of the Spanish colonial period of the Philippines. An ophthalmologist by profession, Rizal became a writer and a key member of the Filipino Propaganda Movement, which moved and advocated political reforms for the colony under Spain. José Rizal was also known through time as the first Filipino, pride of the Malay race, the greatest Malayan among others. Many considered him a genius, a master of all trades, a patriot, a model brother, and an ideal son. Rizalist groups encouraged good moral character, personal discipline, and civic consciousness through his name. But did you know these 10 little-known facts about Dr. José Rizal? In April 1890, José Rizal authored an article sobre la nueva ortografía de la lengua Tagalog in the Madrid-based periodical La Solidaridad. In it, he addressed the logicality, in his opinion, of the new orthography and its criticisms, including those by compatriots Pobrete and Texon. Remember, during this time, revolution was happening in all fronts, including language and writing. Rizal described the orthography promoted by Tavera as more perfect than what he himself had developed. José Rizal has also suggested a reform of the orthography of the Philippine languages by replacing the letters C and Q with K. Rizal got the idea after reading an 1884 essay by Trinidad Pardo de Tavera about the ancient Baybayin script. This new orthography was, however, not broadly adopted initially and was used inconsistently in the bilingual periodicals of Manila. José Rizal is considered the father of Philippine comics because among his numerous drawings and sketches are three that fit the bill: The Monkey and the Turtle, Paris 1885, The Baptism of R. Pfeiffer at Holy Cross Steinach, Wilhelmsfeld 1886, and The Cure of the Bewitched, The Pitan 1895. The first is a retelling of the Filipino folktale The Monkey and the Turtle, which was drawn in the scrapbook of Juan Luna's ill-fated wife, Paz Pardo de Tavera, during a dinner in Paris in the fall of 1885. The story is retold in 35 frames with text in Spanish under each panel instead of having the narrative flow in boxes above and dialogue text in speech balloons as we do today. The baptism of two brothers was inspired by the German cartoon Max and Moritz. Rizal made it to entertain the children of his landlord, Pastor Ulmer. The original copy is now preserved in the National Library of the Philippines. Entitled as The Treatment and Cure of the Bewitched or La Curación de los Hechizados, this lesser-known work of Rizal explores the psychological treatment for kulam and even explained that witches were not always women who are old or ugly. This he wrote and drew while he was in Dapitan. Motto Stella, the Latin words for the original title of the Rizal Monument, which means guiding star, the title given by its designer, Swiss sculptor Richard Kistling. In a letter dated March 5, 1890, and addressed to German naturalist and anthropologist Adolf B. Meyer, Rizal mentioned and revealed that he experimented with hashish, a byproduct of the cannabis plant, or in slang, marijuana. Animal species were named after him. His free time while in exile at Dapitan afforded him the chance to collect unique species of animals. Rhacophorus rizali, a toad, Draco rizali, a flying lizard, and Apogonia rizali, a small beetle. Rizal developed a board game. While exiled in Dapitan, he developed a fortune-telling game called Haek es Sibila Kumana, or simply Sibila Kumana. It is named after a fortune-teller in Greco-Roman mythology. The game consists of spinning top and a booklet. It is played by choosing a question, then spinning the top to get a corresponding answer. The random answer can be quirky, funny, or even creepy. There is no proof that Rizal wrote Sa Aking Mga Kababata, the often quoted line during buwan ng wika that says, ang di magmahal sa sariling wika ay masahol pa sa hayop o malansang isda, is not actually from José Rizal. Studies proved that there has never been a solid evidence to confirm that Rizal wrote the poem. The multilingual Rizal had difficulty writing in Tagalog. In a letter to his brother, Paciano Rizal, José Rizal said, I'm forgetting Tagalog a little, as I don't speak it with anyone. He mentioned this because he was trying to translate Schiller's Wilhelm Tell in Tagalog. Referring to his translation, Rizal told his brother, I'm aware of its many mistakes that I entrust to you and my brothers-in-law to correct. It is almost a literal translation. I'm forgetting Tagalog a little, as I don't speak it with anyone. Evidence suggests Rizal's anti-Chinese sentiments. Rizal's El Filibusterismo is replete with negative depictions of Chinese men. He even dedicated a chapter about Quiroga, a shrewd Chinese businessman who was despised by his contemporaries. There's also a scene in the novel when young idealist students poked fun of a Chinese peddler. In his letters, Carlo Figueroa noted a line Rizal mentioned to her mother, I vowed not to buy any more from them, referring to the Chinese, so that sometimes I find myself very hard up. Now we have almost neither dishes nor tumblers. José Rizal's remains were first buried in Paco Cemetery without a coffin.
Say what? Oh no!
When he died on December 30, 1896, Rizal's body was immediately buried in Paco Cemetery without a tomb marker. The tomb was kept hidden from the family, but it was eventually found by Narcisa, Rizal's older sister. She made a marble slab with the inscription RPJ as a marker. After waiting 2 years to be allowed to retrieve the body, they found out that Rizal was buried without a coffin.